This commenter says, yes, she did get him. I think he meant to say hit him. How you think he ended up with internal injuries in the hospital? Here's the problem. He didn't end up with internal injuries in the hospital. That's what the federal government told you, and you believed it without any evidence whatsoever.
Disastrous news for Donald Trump as he was just caught in his most embarrassing lie yet. He said that Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent who shot and murdered Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis, he said this ICE officer barely survived being hit by the car and was taken to a nearby hospital. We now know that's completely untrue. We knew that already, but it's been confirmed by a police report. Minneapolis police say he was taken to a federal building. He suffered no injuries. This is in contrast to what CBS News said. Barry Weiss, the editor-in-chief of CBS, released a fake report saying that Jonathan Ross suffered internal bleeding from being hit by the car, even though the car barely grazed him. Hey, maybe don't stand in front of a car next time, by the way, because ICE is not a real law enforcement agency. If they were, they would actually be enforcing the law instead of killing Americans point blank by discharging their weapons into the faces of 37-year-old mothers.
Never went to the hospital. Never had any report of injuries. Was taken to a federal building. As a matter of fact, at the time that people said that he was at the hospital, at the time Donald Trump said he was at the hospital, this Nazi's neighbors tell the news that he was actually at home packing all of his shit up so he could flee, which is exactly what he did. He fled. He's currently in hiding. If what he did was so right, then there's no investigation and he wasn't suspended for his actions. Why isn't he back on the job? By the way, that bullshit report out of CBS.
We have some pretty major news right now. There is huge internal concern within CBS News after CBS decided to publish a unverified report based on anonymous sources that Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent who shot and killed Renee Nicole Good, suffered from, quote, internal bleeding. That's what CBS published, saying, quote, 2 U.S. officials briefed on his medical condition found that out. But the Guardian's now reporting that within CBS, publishing that report raised major alarm bells. It was met with, quote, huge internal concern. Because for the record, internal bleeding could mean just a bruise, right? But Barry Weiss, the new editor-in-chief of CBS, expressed a high interest in reporting this to the public without any public sourcing, without any further information. And it comes as CBS still has not released the CCOT documentary that has been fully verified, fully vetted, fully sourced, but instead is releasing this story based on anonymous reports. Pretty significant news right now. Spread the word.
Never went to the hospital, didn't have internal bleedings, put out false reports by CBS, and you believed all of that shit. And therein lies the problem with what's going on in this country, right? Donald Trump, the dear leader, tells you that something happened, and without any evidence whatsoever, without any investigative research into it, without looking for the actual report, without doing an ounce of critical thinking for yourself, you just believe it. When none of it's true. Do better.